is told of a man who met God in a lovely valley one day. "Is there anything I can do for you?" the man asked. "Yes, there is," God said. "I have a wagon with 3 stones in it, and I need someone to pull it up the hill for me. Are you willing?" "I'd love to do something for you. Those stones don't look very heavy, and the wagon's in good shape. I'd be happy to do that." God sketched a map and said, "Once you get to the top, just leave the wagon there." "No problem," the man replied, and he set off cheerfully. The wagon pulled a bit behind him, but the burden was an easy one. Around the 3rd bend, he walked into a small village. A man there asked what he was doing. "Well, God gave me a job this morning. I'm delivering these 3 stones to the top of the hill. I was just praying this morning about how I was going to get this rock to the top of the mountain. Could you take it up there for me?" The man said, "Well, of course. I don't suppose God would mind. Just put it there behind the other stones." Then he set off with 3 stones and a rock rolling behind him. Well, the wagon seemed a bit heavier, and it pulled to one side. The man stopped to adjust the load as he sang a hymn of praise. He soon reached another village where a good friend lived. "You're going to the top of the hill?" his old friend asked. "Yes, can you imagine? God gave me something to do." "Well, I need this bag of pebbles taken up. I haven't any time to do it myself." With that, he placed his burden in the wagon. "Shouldn't be a problem," the man said. "I think I can handle it." He waved goodbye and began to pull the wagon back onto the road. He could feel the weight now as he started up the incline, the wagon tugging at his arm. One little stop followed another, and the wagon grew fuller and fuller. The sun felt hot above the man pulling it, and his shoulders ached with the strain. The songs of praise and thanksgiving that had filled his heart had long since left his lips as resentment began to build inside. Surely this wasn't what he had signed up for that morning. God had given him a burden heavier than he could bear. "Oh God," he wailed, "I thought you were behind this trip, but I'm overcome by the heaviness of it." As he prayed, God came to his side. "Sounds like you're having a hard time," God said as he looked into the wagon. "What's this?" he asked as he held up a bag of pebbles. "That belongs to my good friend," the man said. "He didn't have time to bring it up himself. I thought I would help him." "And this?" God tumbled 2 pieces of shale over the side of the wagon as the man tried to explain. God continued to unload the wagon, removing both the light and the heavy items. As they dropped to the ground, dust swirled up around them. The man, who had hoped to help God, grew silent. "Let others shoulder their own belongings," God said gently. "I know you were trying to help, but when you are weighted down with all these cares, you cannot do what I have asked." Suddenly, the man realized the freedom God was offering. "You mean I only have to take the 3 stones after all?" he asked. "That is what I ask you to do," God smiled. "I will never ask you to carry more than I will give you strength to bear."